Hi everyone, welcome to our channel. My name is Renu Sharma. Today I'm going to talk about immigration process for Canada under Express Entry. Now, first and foremost, you need to score 67 points to be eligible to apply for this category. There are various factors like your age, education, your experience, your language proficiency that would determine this eligibility score of 67, and I'm going to cover it in separate presentation very soon. Today, my topic of discussion is CRS, that's called Comprehensive Ranking System. Now, CRS is a point-based system that would assess, score, and rank your profile under Express Entry. This Express Entry is actually comprised of three categories. The first one is Federal Skilled Worker Program, the second one is Federal Skilled Trades Program, and the third one is CEC, that we call is Canadian Experience Class. Now, once you enter the Express Entry pool, you will be awarded with a score based upon various factors that would include your education, your skills, your language, and other factors that would include PNP and if you have any blood relation over here in Canada. So I'm going to discuss that step by step today. Now this score will actually determine your rank in the Express Entry and your chances of getting the ITA, that's invitation to apply. Now, before we dive into our presentation, let me share the latest news, what's going on the immigration process in January 2021. So on January 20, 2021, IRCC has invited 374 PNP candidates with a minimum score of 741. That this cutoff means that you need to score 141 CRS points, and rest of the points, those 60, you can actually obtain from PNP. So PNP is pretty much popular these days, and I have already covered Saskatchewan and Ontario program in my previous videos. So I'll be covering more on PNP in future videos. So stay tuned and let's discuss the steps and the CRS points, how it works. Alright, so now I'm going to discuss about the steps involved in applying for the immigration process under Express Entry. The first and foremost, you have to look for an NOC. You have to find the NOC that should match your skills and experience. And the second one is ECA, that's Education Credential Assessment. You have to get your education assessed through designated bodies. The popular one is WES because it takes little time and get like not more than 2 months. And then there are other bodies like ICAS and then CAS, and the list is already mentioned on cic.gc.ca website. And the third one is little tricky for a few of you, that's IELTS. So you have to score as good as you can in listening, reading, writing, speaking. It's not that challenging, so you just have to practice a bit. After that, you have to calculate your score, that CRS score. And I'm going to cover all the steps now. And after that, you have to create your Express Entry profile. So once you're done, you have to wait for the invitation, that's ITA. And once ITA is done, it's kind of a confirmation that yes, you're going to wait for the submission of documents letter from the Canadian government, and then you're good to go for PPR process. So now I'm going to cover all the factors which are responsible, or those which can determine your eligibility and put you under the Express Entry pool. So let's start with that. Alright, so here is a summary of maximum points per factor for Express Entry candidate. CRS assess your points based upon 4 major factors: the core and human capital, spouse factor, skill transferability, and additional factors that would include your blood relation here in Canada, job offer if you have here from Canada, or PNP. So let's discuss the first factor. Under first factor, you can actually get up to 500 points. So under age, if you have spouse, you can get 100 points, 140 for your education, and 150 for your language proficiency. That would include French and English both. And if you have any Canadian work experience, you can get 70 with spouse. Now, if you don't have a spouse, You can claim for 110 for age. For education, you can claim up to 150. Under language, you can claim up to 160. And for Canadian work experience, you can claim up to 80. Now, if you see with spouse, you have got 460. So the remaining 40, you can actually claim from spouse factors, her level of education, her English or French proficiency, and Canadian work experience. So the combination of both these two can get you 500 points. Now, moving on to the next slide, it's a skill transferability. Under education level, you can get 50, and under foreign work experience, you can claim up to 50. So in total, under skill transferability, you can claim up to 100 points. Moving on to our next factor, that's additional factor. You can actually get up to 600 points. That's a maximum for PNP. And if you have any blood relation over here in Canada, you can claim up to 15 points. And if you have any post-secondary education from Canada, you can claim up to 30 points. Now, if you have French language proficiency, you can claim up to 50. And if you have any arranged employment in Canada, you can claim up to 200 points. And as I mentioned before, 600 points can be claimed through PNP. So the combination of all these four factors, A, B, C, and D, can get you 1200 points. Now let's discuss about the age. So the maximum point you can claim under this category is 110 without spouse and 100 with spouse. Again, the remaining 10 can be obtained from spouse age. So the maximum point you can claim from the age of 20 to 29, that's 110 without spouse and 100 if you have a spouse. So you have to be very careful with the age factor, because with every year it's going to diminish. Moving on to our next slide, that's education. In education, you can claim maximum up to 150 points. So if you have any 1-year degree, diploma, or certificate from a university or college, you can see here it's 90 without spouse, and with spouse is 84. Usually we have bachelor degree holder or master degree, and if you are lucky enough, you can actually have the PhD also. So in PhD you will get 150, that's a maximum score, but usually you can get 120 without spouse and a bachelor degree, and 112 with spouse. So remaining 8 you can actually claim from your spouse education. So goes for your master degree. You can claim up to 135 points without spouse, and with spouse you can claim up to 126, and remaining can be from her or his master degree. So that would be 150 in total as a maximum. Now, moving on to our language proficiency, I have provided you with the relationship between IELTS and CLB. So this means that if you have CLB of 9, which means reading, writing, listening, speaking, if you see here, in reading you have 7, or in writing you have 7, listening 8, speaking 7, you will be able to get 124 points without spouse and 116 with spouse. Again, the remaining points you can claim from her language proficiency. So if you see clearly here, I gave the whole relationship in between both IELTS and CLB. So you have to prepare properly for IELTS, because this is one of the crucial steps, and you have to do a lot of work onto this part for sure. Moving on to our next slide, that's called Canadian work experience. If you see here, it's like the maximum you can claim under this category is 80 points. So if you have 5 years or more years of experience in Canada, you can claim up to 80 points without a spouse, and with spouse you can claim up to 70. So goes like if you have 1 year of experience in Canada, you can claim 40 points without a spouse, and with spouse 35. So you can get the points according to that. Now next slide is skill transferability. So in this case, you can get maximum 100 points. So if you have any post-secondary program and CLB 7, you can actually get 13 points. And if you have 2 or more post-secondary programs, or one must be 3 years longer, you can get 25 points. If you have CLB of 7, if you have the same qualification with CLB 9, you can claim up to 50 points. So goes for your foreign work experience. So if you have 1 to 2 years of experience with CLB 7, you can claim 13 points. And 25 if you have CLB 9. And if you have 3 or more years of experience, you can claim up to 25 points with CLB 7 and 50 with CLB 9. Now let's discuss about the additional points here. So if you have any blood relation over here in Canada, you can claim up to 15 points. And if you have scored NCLC 7 with CLB 4, so NCLC is more like a CLB, what we have for English, and NCLC is for French. So you'll be able to claim 25. If you have NCLC 7 and CLB 5, you'll be able to claim 50 under this category. So if you have post-secondary education over here in Canada for 1 or 2 years, you can claim up to 15 points, and same degree, like same qualification if you have in Canada with a duration of 3 or long, you will be able to claim 30 points. If you have any arranged work employment here in Canada under NOC 00, this comprises of senior management occupation like legislature or senior managers in public or private sector, that can get you 200 points. And if you have any arranged employment any under NOC 0A or B, usually it's labor market impact assessment if you have heard of, so that would get you 50 points. And if you have any provincial nomination, you can actually get 600, that's a maximum. So under this category you can claim for 600 points, that's a maximum one. So that was all. Now I'm going to just give you an hypothetical example of a case who got the ITA as on January 2021. So it's already got the PNP. So if you see here is the age is 32 and the profession was registered psychiatric nurse, and he has a bachelor degree in nursing. Language proficiency, if you see, he has got 6 bands in each module like listening, reading, writing, and speaking. So CLB 7 was actually his score. He has the experience here in Singapore. Along with that, he got the job offer from Alberta Hospital. So his CRS score before his provincial nomination actually was 320. However, now he has got that, so it's actually 920. So yeah. Hi, so that was all for CRS. So I hope you like my video, and if you like it, please subscribe to my channel and stay tuned.